The comms team have been invited to have a look at the new training area for trade operatives. The training space idea came from the trades themselves because they knew that it would be easier for new starters if they had somewhere to practice. Now that we have the space, new staff can build confidence and make mistakes safely before they go out into the field and then be able to provide a first-class service for our tenants. This space can also be used to train staff on new technologies so they don't have to figure these things out whilst they're on the job. What we have today is their idea brought to life in a space that is practical, useful, and something that trades themselves can be proud of because it's been created by them and built by them. Mark, one of our multi-trade electricians, has kindly offered to show me around the place. So let's have a look. Okay, thanks for meeting me here, Mark. So I believe you're going to take me through some carpentry type things now.
Yeah, we've got a new training facility. We've got some windows that are tilt and turn windows, normal style windows. They've got various mechanisms that the carpenters can use. They can also change the handles because there are various types of handles. It gives them experience on how to improve their skills. We also have some kitchen units. They can change the doors, they can repair the doors, they can repair the hinges and mechanisms for those as well. There's also a sink and they can practice putting the sinks in and out of the worktops, changing the worktops and repairing the taps as need be. There are also some door mechanisms. There are 3 types of composite doors. We can change the locks, the door mechanisms, the handles, the letterboxes, and all those things so that they've got more experience on doing that sort of thing as well.
Wow, so that's quite comprehensive on the carpentry side of things. Great, well, let's move on to another section. So Mark, we've done one section and we've got another 2 sections to go through. Do you want to take me through the next bit, which is electrics, I think?
Yeah, we've got a consumer unit. This will layout of a typical house. We can test the electricians on their testing and inspecting skills. There's a shower that they can change. They can test various things on the shower as well. We've also got some sockets set up. We have put some faults on the sockets so it would imitate a various normal house. We also have a heater. They can use that heater to change various components on that as well. The lights that we can see there, they have various faults. We can put faults on those. There is one fan up there as well. We have a couple of types of fans, so they'll need to change the fan. They can practice setting the fan up. And then finally, we've got a cooker switch, and that is able to have various faults put on that socket and cooker switch at the same time. So that's the electrical side completed. We then move on to the smoke alarm system. We have various smoke alarms, heat alarms for the kitchen, carbon monoxide alarm where there's a boiler, different alarms for the loft if there's solar PV. They're linked to a centralised system which will link all those alarms together. We can look at that system on an app on the phone. There's also a tele-alarm system. The tele-alarm system and the smoke alarms are linked together. If one of those alarms goes off, what happens is it sends an alert to the cool care system. So for carbon monoxide, they would send a gas engineer out to check the boiler or see if there's a leak. Obviously, if there's a fire, they would then speak to the tenant. If there's a fire, they would then call the fire brigade. So the tenants have got safety and instant access to somebody that will help them in an emergency. Yeah, there's one final thing. The apprentices do a lot of metal conduit work as part of their exam. So we've set up a dedicated area where they can practice bending pipes, doing connections that they would need to do to pass their final exams. So there's a wall that's dedicated for that as well.
So Mark, this all sounds really great. Just tell me a little bit about how this has worked and impacted on the staff that are now using it and how they respond to it when they're in the field.
So what this facility does is actually makes things a lot easier for us. It's all compacted and it's all in one area. If we were testing the smoke alarms in a house, we'd be running up and down stairs, in the loft. So having it all in one area, keeping it quite small, it saves us from doing all that sort of thing. We also can train the housing officers and the support workers on how these things work, so it gives them an idea of what they need to do when they're out in the field.
So the staff have really enjoyed working in here and getting that experience and that training before they go out. Has it helped them feel more confident, do you think?
Absolutely. I'm sure it gives them a lot better understanding and more confident when they're talking to the customers.
Thanks very much for that, Mark. I can see that there's a lot of benefits here just for everybody, for the new starters and for the existing staff and for the apprentices, which is great.
Thank you.